Hey everyone, this is Oxidize Responsibly with this week's topic. Question 17. Oxidative phosphorylation requires all of the items listed below, except A. A terminal electron acceptor, which is O2 in mitochondria, B. The flow of electrons from NADH and QH2 in the membrane, C. ATP synthase in the correct position in the membrane, D. Enzyme complexes embedded in a membrane, or E. A matrix more positively charged than the intermembrane space. And you guessed it, Smarty Pants, it's E. A matrix more positively charged than the intermembrane space. Let's first understand what oxidative phosphorylation is. Oxidative phosphorylation is the process in which ATP is formed as a result of the transfer of electrons from NADH or FADH2 to O2 by a series of electron carriers. This process takes place in the mitochondria and is a major source of ATP in aerobic organisms. Just take a look at this electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation diagram. As you can see, the intermembrane space is more positively charged than the mitochondrial matrix. And there's also a flow of electrons from NADH and QH2 in the membrane. So the answer is E, because the matrix needs to have a net negative charge and the intermembrane space needs to have a positive charge. This electrochemical gradient is comprised of both the pH gradient and membrane potential and is the force that drives protons back across the inner membrane into the matrix to drive ATP synthesis. The answer is not A, because oxygen is the terminal electron acceptor, which means it takes the electrons from the last protein complex. Oxygen takes electrons from NADH or FADH2, then also picks up 2 hydrogens to make water to be released. The answer is not B, because the reduced electron carriers, NADH, donate their electrons to the proteins of the electron transport chain. The electrons are passed from protein to protein in a stepwise fashion, coupled to protein pumping across the inner mitochondrial membrane into the intermembrane space. The answer is not C, because synthesis via the ATP synthase has to occur in the correct position of the membrane. The ATP synthase has 2 subunits, the transmembrane F0 subunit and the F1 subunit. These 2 areas are connected by a portion of F1 subunit called the stalk. As protons flow through this area, the stalk rotates, converting energy. The answer is not D because there are 3 multi-protein complexes in the membrane: NADH, dehydrogenase, cytochrome Bc complex, and cytochrome oxidase, which are capable of both electron transport and the pumping of protons across the inner membrane. So, the oxidative phosphorylation does not require a matrix more positively charged than the intermembrane space. Pretty simple, huh? Question 18. The blank is between the inner and outer membranes of the mitochondria. A, intermembrane space. B, intercellular fluid. C, ATP synthase complex. Or D, matrix. You guessed it, smarty pants, it's A, intermembrane space. The answer is A, intermembranous space, because the area between 2 membranes of the mitochondria, inner and outer, is called intermembranous space. The answer is not intracellular fluid, because intracellular fluid is the fluid within each cell. The answer is not ATP synthase complex, because that is an enzyme that allows for protons to move through the membrane and trigger phosphorylation of ADP to ATP. The answer is not matrix, because the matrix is a space or tissue where specialized structures are embedded and is not referred to the area between 2 membranes of the mitochondria. So, the intermembrane space is between the inner and outer membranes of the mitochondria. Pretty self-explanatory, huh? Look at that artwork. How could you ever forget this now? It's gorgeous. There's your outer membrane, your matrix, your inner membrane, and look at that. Intermembrane space right there. Love it. Hope this was helpful.